We're studying AS level computer science and we're starting algorithms too. This is algorithm design and problem solving. In this class, we'll be looking at a question about pseudocode. Now, I'm not sure if we have done flowchart yet. We haven't finished flowchart, but we looked at abstraction. Abstraction is to remove unnecessary information from any problem which does not does not help us solve that problem. For example, we'll remove any unnecessary information. That's basically it. If you look at this map, if I want to go from A to B, I don't really need to look at any of the rivers or gardens or anything. I need to focus on the road, right? So that's how I remove extra information. Now, decomposition, just for a recap, was you take a big issue, a big problem, you break it down into small problems, which are easy to manage. This makes the process more clear and efficient. Now, what is an algorithm? It's nothing but a sequence of steps, some instructions which you give to a computer. We had three types of structures, which was assignment, sequence, selection, repetition. We have more types as well. These are called constructs in programming, basically building blocks, right? Assignment was to give some value to a variable, to store some value. Sequence was to repeat something, or not really repeat something. Sequence is these steps that each step must happen in a particular order. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot skip or it cannot happen randomly. Selection was to choose between some criteria. If I say, Ritvik, is it sunny outside?
No.
No. So that's a true yes or no question. That's a truth value which you've given me, true or false. Now, based on this truth value, I can make some decision. Is it sunny outside? No. Now, this was a criteria, and I got an answer no. So based on this, now I can do some action. If it's not sunny outside, then I can go. I perhaps I don't need sunscreen, right? So if sunny outside, apply sunscreen. Else, do not apply sunscreen. That's basically selection. We have different types of selections as well, like cases, switch case, if else conditions, nested if else. We'll look at all of that later. Repetition are basically loops when you repeat something over and over again. We have while loop, do while loop, no, do while is the same thing. Do while do, for loop, repeat until, etc., etc. Now, let's focus on this one, this question which you have here. We will also look at flowchart later, okay? I think it's quite basic. Now, read the question, Ritvik.
Okay. A weather station takes temperature readings once an hour for a week. These temperatures are stored in a two-dimensional array temperature. Each column contains 24 readings for a single day. 24 readings for a single day. The temperature recorded at 00 and the final temperature at 23 hours. There are 7 columns, one for each day of the week, starting with Monday, ending with Sunday. The variable max day, min day, and av day are used to store the maximum, minimum, and average temperatures for a day. The variable max week, min week, and average week is used to store the maximum, minimum, and average temperatures for the week. The array has already been set up and the data stored. Write a program that meets the following requirements: finds the maximum and minimum temperature for each day, calculates the average temperature for each day, outputs each day outputs for each day, name of the day, for example, Monday, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and the average temperature. Finds the maximum and minimum temperatures for the week. Calculates the average temperature for the week. Outputs maximum temperature for the week, minimum temperature for the week, and the average temperature for the week. You do not need to declare any variable, array or variable. You may assume that this has already been done. Did not initialize the data in the array temperature.
All right, fine. So basically, it's quite basic. What's happening here? We have an array, right? Now, for this array, what we need to do is we need to find out first, let's say, what tasks are there. The first task is find the maximum minimum array, right? Okay. Before we solve this, we do have to find out how to write arrays, how to mention arrays. Now, since we're doing pseudocode, right? Is it pseudocode? Pseudocode. Yes, pseudocode. Since we're doing pseudocode, you can refer to any array like this, temperatures, and that is how we usually refer to arrays anyways. Now, if you want to check some value, right? Something you should understand is arrays start from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. In most programming languages. But when you're writing pseudocode, you can even write start from 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't make any difference. Okay. So let's start here. Okay. Find the maximum and minimum temperature for each day, right? Maximum and minimum. Okay. Fine. Okay, wait. There's a two-dimensional array, so that's a dictionary. Okay, a 2D array. Now, in this, I have 24 readings for a single day. 0. And if I do 23, okay, there's 7 columns, one for each day. Okay. Each column contains 24 readings for a single day. There are 7 columns. Okay, so this is how it's happening. There are 7 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, we also have 24 readings, okay? So 24 rows. 1, 2, 3, and so on till 23 and 24. Okay, this is what we have so far. This is our two-dimensional array. These are the columns, 7 columns, and each column has 24 rows, 24 readings. Clear? Any questions here?
No.
Now, for such a case, we have to use nested loops. I think you must have covered this already.
Yeah.
Have? Then that's good. Okay, so we'll go over it. Firstly, find the maximum minimum temperature for each day, right? Okay, so we're going to loop through each this row, right? First row, let's look at the first row. Now for the first row, we're going to loop through the whole thing from 1 to 24, and then we'll check each value. Okay, let's say there's 10, 12, 9, 16, and this was 22, and then 8. So we'll loop through the whole thing, and we need to check which of these is the biggest. So for that, we'll have a temporary variable as the maximum or max temp, let's say perhaps. Do we need to create any new variables? Nope. Yep. So we can use no. Okay. So we don't really need to create a new variable. They haven't specified if we should or we can, but we can just use the variables they've given us. So max day is the maximum one, right? To write the program, what we'll be doing is for loop, right? Now, 1 second, I will show you the syntax. Okay, I'll write the basic structured English for you first, and then we look at the pseudocode. Or I'll write the pseudocode directly. Now, for, let's say, I have okay, in array, which is your temperature, then I will do something. Now, there are many ways of, writing loops. I'm just telling you the basic one, and then we look at each type. Now, but I is our index, okay, for index in temperatures, 0 to So 1 to 24 in temperatures, max underscore day, j, is equals to temperature of x. Now we can use the arrow. Now we do a condition actually. If max underscore day, 1 second, if the temperature, okay, is greater than what's the current max, then I will do this. Okay, else I don't need to do anything else, and we repeat this.
Wait,
Okay,
aren't we just supposed to write max day instead of max underscore day?
it's your choice. Actually, yeah, underscore day. That's just a habit. As in,
Uh,
when you're doing programming, usually we put underscore. I did not pay attention. Okay. There are two things we use in programming. Either we use an underscore in Python or camel case. Like this is called camel case. This is used in Java.
oh,
And usually in Python, we just write it like this. Whatever, but separated by underscore. Okay.
okay.
It's important to know what camel case is. Camel case is like this. Uh, this is the capitalization. So we have like two camel, like
Yeah,
here.
so basically after every word or something.
Yep. So these are two hums of the camel. Okay,
Okay.
something like that. Now moving onwards, we have okay. So we have this, right? What are we doing? We're looping from 1 to 24, and we are. Oh my God! Wait. Yes, we are comparing. If this is bigger than max day, then I will change the max to this value because it's bigger, right? And then I loop this. Do this for all of them. Is this clear? Any questions here? Now I'll
No.
do the same thing for minimum. If the temperature is less than min day, now in the beginning, maybe max day is 0 or something. Or we have to, okay, now in this case, we need to put max day to a very small value. Maybe we can put -1 in the beginning. They said they've initialized this. No, no, no. We have to actually set it to this. They haven't initialized the variable. They have initialized only the array. So we're putting 0. Just put -1. Uh, okay, not -1. Let's say something quite small. Now this is impossible, right? This temperature cannot exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just to ensure that whatever value we check, right, the initial value doesn't create any bias. For example, if I put 0, okay, and all the temperatures were in negative, then this answer would automatically give us 0 because 0 is the greatest value, right? It would. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I keep max day starting as 0 and all the other values are negative, then it would never change this would never be true. So this would stay as 0 as the maximum, which would be the wrong answer. So we keep it to a very low value of -999. Okay. And next one here, we can put a very high value, which is impossible to reach. Let's say +999. And here, instead of checking if it's bigger, we check if it's smaller. So if this temperature is smaller than midday, then I make that the minimum temperature, and I keep checking. Whenever I get a new small value I replace it. Okay. If it's bigger, then I just ignore it. That's for the minimum and maximum. Now calculate the average temperature for each day. Average temperature, we need to keep a count. Okay. Have they done it for us? No, they haven't. Okay, so we can do a few things. We don't really need to use any new variables. It is good to have some counters and stuff. Like we have used index here, right? So we can obviously use more variables whenever we need. But these are the variables which are used to store things. Okay. Now, average day. So I can have a counter. Let's say total temperature. Okay, which in the beginning I'll just put as 0. Now for index 1 to 24, what I do is I add all the temperatures let's say add all the temperatures. To total temp. So I keep adding in the sense, whatever was before, it was 0 before, then 0 plus the new temperature, and it will keep adding, okay? Now after this, I need to find the average. Once this loop is over, also, for loops, depends, okay? In pseudocode, we say repeat, okay? We don't have a for loop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we can say repeat, or you can say for, any of that is fine, but you need to make sure it's easy to understand. Okay, so we'll fix the format in a bit. I hope this makes sense so far. If you have any questions, ask me. Now for this, I'll say again repeat. We'll keep for loop for now, okay, and then we'll change it to repeat later. Okay, now I'm doing this, right? Once after that, once this all the temperatures are added up in the total temp, okay, 1 second. I will keep solving the questions. If you have any doubts, answer in the chat. I'm just going to fix some issue with the microphone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this way, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Try speaking.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay, so this is finished. We are checking. You can speak as well. I think I could hear you. Wait a second.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now try speaking.
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you. Perfect.
Hello. Okay.
Now, if you look at the maximum min-day total temperature, we take that and then we find the average. At the beginning, we can also keep average as 0. Then later on, it becomes something. We are not declaring variables or anything. I hope you know how to declare variables, right? We specify their type. We say
Yeah.
declare this variable as integer or as text or character or whatever we need. We have different data types like integer, character, okay. Now we have name of the day. Okay, calculate the average temperature for each day. Each day. Okay, each day. Now, have they given us another array? No, haven't given us the array, have they? They've only given us the these. Okay, so we can output for each of them. What do they want? Okay, yep. So we need to output the temperature and output all of these things, okay, one by one. Now, how will I know it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday? How would I know that?
Um, so 1 is equals to Monday, and then 2 is
right?
equals to
So we
Tuesday.
can check which day it is. So the first one, if it's 1, then I output Monday. So that would take a lot of conditions. It's all right. We can do that. So uh if Monday, no, if index is equals to, it's a two-dimensional array. There's a problem here. Two-dimensional array, right? To use this, we actually need two square brackets. And we need two loops, two index values as well, okay? 1 second. Okay. Now, in the start, we can say index week or index 1 and index 2. Or we can say index week and index day. You can say 1 or 2 as well. Okay. Now, the index week, we will also repeat, okay, this whole thing for each index. So for index day, no, index week, 1 to 7. I will repeat each of these, okay? The first one is the week, and the second one is the day, right?
Yeah.
The first one tells us how many columns we have. The second one tells us each of the rows. Wait. It depends on how they're doing it. So both should be fine. Okay. Now so we'll repeat index week from 1 to 7. Okay. If index week is equals to 1, okay, then output Monday. Else if index week is equals to something else, then output something else. Then we'll repeat this whole thing for each day. You can also use a switch case. Would that not be better? Have you done switch case in school?
How does that go?
How does that go? Okay. For switch case, we can say switch index week. Okay, now I just have to say each of the case. Case 1,
I don't
case
think I know that.
2. You will study it, try to learn how it works. Okay,
Okay.
it's part of the syllabus. And so this is less writing for us, simpler program, more efficient. Now we can say output today, Monday, Ritvik, do you have Microsoft Whiteboard installed on your computer?
Let me check. I can download it.
You have to download from the Microsoft Store, and I can share the link of this whiteboard so you can write as well. So I don't have to do all of the writing.
Sure. I'm gonna download it.
And I will say it again.
I'm gonna download it now.
Download it. Okay. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Why is Thursday?
Right, sir.
Friday.
Sir, where is Ahmad, sir? Sir, wrong class again.
Sunday. Okay, 1 second, Aditya. You have a class right now?
Yep, I have a class right now.
Okay, so I'm going to, you have to join room 2. Okay?
Okay.
You. All right. Now, this is what we do. Okay, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the day will be written. Okay, and then below it, we'll check the temperature. Since in the beginning, index week will be 1. So in 1, then we'll check each day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 24. The number of hours. Okay, and in the day, and then average temperature, and then whenever we finish each of these, we need to output. Okay, output what? Output maximum temperature or max.
Basically, almost all the variables there are.
Say it again.
Basically, all the variables.
Okay, wait, I can't hear you properly. Keep moving.
I said basically it's all the variables.
Yes, basically output all the variables. Yep. Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you as well. Perfect. Okay, so we just have to output each of the variables, right?
Yeah. I
And
downloaded
output
it.
downloaded it. Okay, so log in, and the link for this whiteboard will be in your group. There's the group. That's the group. And this is okay. You should have gotten it. Now this is what we have, right?
I didn't get it.
Didn't get what?
The link.
It's in the group. Oh no, wrong group. Sorry. Where is it? Which group is it? Right.
That one.
Okay, now our job is to basically meet the standard pseudocode requirement now, which is quite ironic because pseudocode has no specific syntax, but it has to make complete sense. So let's fix some of the formatting. Okay, once you write, once you have the logic there, then it's your job to make sure it makes sense to other people as well. Now, 1 second. Can you see the whiteboard?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's good.
Basically, all the spacings and things, right?
Yeah, spacings and
The
stuff. I'll show you.
capitalization.
1 second, I'll show you. Wait. Okay, so when we use loops in programming, in pseudocode, we have repeat. Okay, repeat. I'll give you. Okay, what are you studying? Which programming language are you studying in school? Python or
Python.
Java? Python.
Python.
Python. Okay. So, okay, Python. Now, what you need to do here is, we can't use for loop. We can. I mean, sure, why not? But I will show you some basic proper ways of using these. Okay, 1 second. So I have this one. Then I have once. Okay, you should be able to see it.
Mm.
No, wait. Any doubts on this question?
Hmm?
We haven't finished it, have we? No, it's something is left. The
Yeah,
week.
the
Have
case
we
thing.
finished it for the week? The case thing?
I don't get the case thing.
Okay, so switch. Switch is basically we choose one thing, okay? This is the variable. This
Hmm?
is our variable, right?
Hmm?
What does this hold?
What is it?
What does it hold?
The week. No, I don't get what you're asking.
Okay, what does it hold? It holds the number of the week, number of the day, right?
Yeah.
Number of the weekday. Okay,
Hmm.
that's what it holds. Now, these cases are all the possible values for this variable, okay?
Hmm.
And if it is any of these values, I need to do the specific task assigned to it. It's like taking case, you know? If this is the case, then do that. If that is the case, then do this. Okay?
Hmm.
Now, that's one way of doing it. To make it, let's say, more standard to what you're doing in class right now, you can use something called if conditions. Wait,
But then, if we use case,
yeah,
wouldn't it just randomly give you the output?
randomly. Now, the thing is, this index starts from 1 and goes to 7. So it would be 1 in the beginning, only 1. So only this one would output and everything else would not output because
Oh,
index is
so
1.
oh, so basically, this case thing is inside the for loop of index week.
Yes, outside inside the for loop, right?
Okay.
Okay, that's how it is. Now, one second. I want to show you the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. You should see it. Okay. I'll give. I'm writing the proper answer. One second. On a text editor. One second.
Okay.
Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
This is how you. This is declaring each variable. Okay. So you declare the temperature. You declare each of these. Fine. Average. This would be G there. There.
Sorry.
And this should be. This there doesn't need to be there. Now we have real string. Real is a decimal. Okay. String is
Yeah.
text. I hope you know that. Okay.
I think it's
Now, yeah.
yeah nothing.
Tell me.
No, I was just gonna
Real is decimal. Yeah. Go on.
I was just gonna say since it's average, like the answer you're gonna get is in decimal. But then in the question they didn't say anything about that. So
Mhm.
would it be like a mistake if you just write it as integer?
No, because they haven't specified. Okay.
Okay.
One second. Okay. Now, first step is to assign some variables to it. Max temperature we have kept at 0 here, but we were trying to keep it at a very low value, right? And max minimum temperature at a very high value. Okay. So to make sure the program works correctly, average temperature, we just leave it as 0 in the beginning. Now, if temperature is then this, look at the convention, okay? Capital. All of the keywords are capital, okay? Not like that.
Yeah.
Don't follow that. That was just the structured English sort of thing. Now, so in pseudocode, we have capital IF, then some criteria, and then we say then, okay? And then we write some action. Then we say else, then again, if condition, this whole thing is repeated. Now, whenever we do if, we must end it as well, end if, okay? So if, then, end if, then, end if. But between if and end if, I can have many else's, else if, okay?
Okay.
Only one else, only one else. When you say else, then you just write something here. Below else, you can write something. You don't have to write if. That would be the last one, okay? Now here, I've combined both of them. In the sense, we're doing both of them together. If temperature is greater than, now this temperature is your temperature is the current temperature which we have, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if that current temperature in the array is greater than max temperature or max day, it would replace. Okay, and this temperature was small. It was smaller. If it was smaller than the minimum temperature, it would replace it. Then, when if you don't use cases, you must say case of day. Okay, of capital, case capital. And this is the variable. Then we have each of the cases.
Okay.
Now here, since our day and end case, all of these things, I'm just trying to show you the format. The structure would be like that, okay? But just try and focus on how to write the things, okay? This is the answer on the in the beginning. So if you have, we don't really have Monday in the variable right now, which was our index value or the was the index week, right? Which we were using. We don't have Monday. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if there's something else, we can also put unknown or default. Okay. If there's
Okay.
something which is, let's say, other than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this would not happen actually. So not in this case. It can happen in other times. Okay. Now for some variable, okay, 0 starting to something, then I do something. Okay. I also have functions here. Have you done functions in school?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. We don't need functions right now. Let's remove that. If temperature is greater than max day, temperature, average day, average day. Okay. When you have any loops, you must write it like this. Repeat and then until hour is greater than 23. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. 1 second.